school lunch is how I'm connecting this. A shooter shot a bunch of kids at a school.
Again.
I'm very close. You know, I come from a long line of school shooters, so this is a subject that I'm very familiar with. If we can, Jimmy, can we pull up a little bit of the manifesto or maybe even a picture of young Solomon Henderson?
Oh, he's black.
He's black.
Wow.
And you know what? You know, they say usually school shooters aren't black because black people don't go to school that often.
Not really. Dang. He might identify a different race, though.
Do you think? I think he actually identifies as an African. It says that's not African, but African, how you would normally spell it, but replace the A with an E. So this is what he says, and this is his manifesto. Nashville Manifesto is how he, that's what he said, Nashville Manifesto. I mean, not that clever of a title. What do you think about that title, Lila?
It's an NMF.
Do we believe this is his manifesto, or do you think this is a government psyop to make us think?
Well, let's hear it. Let's hear it, and then we'll make
Let's see,
our.
who's this person
let's
calling
make a
me?
decision.
Hold on. All right, back to what I was saying. The Nashville Manifesto, I don't know. It's hard for me to believe what is real and what is fake. I mean, I'm not saying this is a fake shooting, this is a real shooting, but they give us this Nashville Manifesto, and so now we're supposed to read this and feel some sort of way. So there's a lot of high spots. This is what he started with. My name is Dr. Matthew Cobson Harris Floyd Jr., an African born in 2007 to a middle-class family of black Israelites. My ancestors were enslaved about 25 miles from where I fled from grad school to the north to avoid racism. They fled the same path from Oxford, North Argotha, to New England after slavery. Duke was the most keyed mother effer I've ever experienced, and even within the philosophy department I encountered racist shite that should not have been tolerated in this century. The cracker advisor will let N-word starve. That's what it says. He says, if he notices N-word is looking at Ukrainian blonde bitch too closely, the ghost of Emmett Till knows what the fuck I'm talking about. 244 Longbow Road, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37, with the zip code. Doesn't even matter about reading that. Okay, now what is this next page? This says The West Has Fallen. Is this the original cover of it, I guess? It says, The West Has Fallen. Okay, yeah, the West has fallen, the West has fallen. Billions must die, is what he says. And we don't agree with that statement. And the shooter said billions must accelerate, accelerate, accelerate. Okay, that's not good. Now, this page, he says, death to the current state of the West. This book is dedicated to accelerationism and violence by a N-word for victory. Hard R. Death to all mamzers. This book is dedicated to world dominance by the N-word. Genocide them and loot everything. This book is dedicated to the death of all the N-word enemies. Death to a country in the Middle East that I do not want to mention on here. This book is dedicated to unlimited wealth for my N-word. Death to it. Oh, I can't say that. This book is dedicated to blanking everyone I hate. Death to all. I know. Look, and he goes on. Unworthy men, traitors, and infiltrators. This book is dedicated to rounding up the enemies in the dead of night. Death to Palestine. Wait, he just said death to...
Yeah, it's not very logical.
This book is dedicated to my N-words who use violence. This book is dedicated to my wives. Okay, okay. Death to mamzers and all Semitic people groups. We don't agree with that. No, live forever. This book is dedicated to conquering the all others and exterminating all lesser beings. Damn. I don't even know if I can read this out loud.
I mean, do you want to just skip to the last
page?
Yes.
Let me just, if I don't want to miss any high spots, protection of the N-word. They grow stronger so that N-word control the world, so that the world fears N-word, so that no other men survive, so that Matthew Cobson Harris controls everything, so that I win this dream. It's a culture, it's a culture, it's a culture, N-word culture. Blanks are poisoning our culture, and rap is basically ground zero for the genocide of N-word. Cannot be allowed to steal N-word culture. Blank rappers are offensive to N-word soul that offers a glimpse as to why cultures become anti-Semitic, as if that's a bad thing, which it is. Hunt those pedophile, rape ape Muslims. Wow, that's...
Damn.
Strong verbiage. The infiltration of the inward soul, the infiltration of their way of living and feeling and way of defending themselves in their spirits to step past the boundary and take away a man's feeling of his worth or something. Okay, now this is where it gets good. Now, believe it or not. Believe it or not, there's a good part.
Okay.
And listen, Lila, and I hate to have to say this, but even in a bad situation, as terrible as this school shooting is, and a young person lost their life and multiple people are hurt, in life, it is very important to always stay positive and find the silver lining.
Okay.
You as a little person, you know that's very important to find.
Yes. Find the silver lining.
I like
You
that.
know that, Fat Pimp, as an African American, that you've probably been marginalized, and that even though we have a tough time, wouldn't you agree that we have to find the silver lining?
You gotta find it.
So he found it by watching Candace Owens and Ethan Ralph, apparently.
Oh, wow.
So this is what he says. He says, is there particular groups or people that radicalize you the most? Question mark. So he's asking himself this question. And then he says, Candace Owens, Ethan Ralph, Nick Fuentes, Turkey Tom, who's been on the show. A lot of people on this, friends of the show. Ruben Sim, Mr. Beast, Cobson Talks, Wayne Lambright, iDubbbz, Destiny, and Hasan Piker. To expand on this, Candace Owens has influenced me above all. Each time she spoke, I was stunned by her insights and her own views, helped push me further and further into the belief of violence over the Jewish question, along with Turkey Tom and Ruben Sim pushing me to the alt-right pipeline. We're taught violence and extremism by video games, music, literature, or cinema. Yes, following music called Incelcore, Shootercore taught me to kill Kanye West, and playing games like CSGO, Manhunt, Cry Out of Fear, Postal Doom, Skylanders, Mega Chud, TNO, HO14, Moria Maya, Middle School Shooter have mentally prepared me for murder.
Damn. He wrote all that?
Mm-hmm. If you believe that, unless you think it was a government agency that wrote that to make us.
Did he write the first part?
It says he wrote it all, but I mean, why?
All of it? Even
Yes,
the beginning part?
The Candace Owens part, at all. The Nick Fuentes.
I thought you wrote the first part.
No, I didn't write any of
sound
this
like
part.
that.
This is actually his manifesto. This guy posted it on like 4chan or wherever he posted it. He actually tried to live stream it as well.
I'm so fly, I'm aligned with the planes. My grind so refined, I got no time for no games. Ask yourself